Hi, I'm Aneesh Dasgupta. I've secured a rank of 74 in the Civil Services examination of 2015. I had taken anthropology as my optional subject. This was my second attempt. In my first attempt, I went till the interview stage. I had good marks in GS, but I did not fare well in my essay and in the interview, so I could not make it to the final result. This exam requires a lot of patience, and during the preparation stage, candidates feel a lot of ups and they go through a lot of ups and downs. And it is very hard to be motivated all the time, but that is the most critical aspect of the preparation. If we let the motivation go away, then we just keep wasting our time, and it spirals downwards. It's just a deep hole that we go into. So we have to always keep ourselves motivated. We have to think that yes, we can do it, and have self-belief. It is also very important to have a group of friends, that is a support system, and the support of your parents, which helps in going through the process, which helps in making the process easy. So since the beginning of my preparation, I had started writing answers, and what that did was it put me in this frame of mind that I have to write the context, the pros and cons, and give suggestions to the answer. So whatever issue I was reading, or whatever topic I was reading, I tried to understand the context, the bigger picture, and the points, the concrete points of pros and cons, and that's how I figured whatever I'm reading, if it's useful for my answer writing or not, and that's how whether I should read it or whether I should skip it. The prelims examination consists of two papers. The first paper is GS and the second is CSAT. The CSAT is only a qualifying paper, so we should not focus too much into it. For the first paper, GS prelims, there are some essential books that you need to read. You need to study the NCERTs. For history, you need to study, say, modern history from Spectrum or Bipin Chandra. For geography, you have G.C. Leong. There is also another good book by Perrier publication, Lakshmikant or D.D. Basu for polity. For environment, you have Shankar IAS notes. So these things are very important for the preparation, but what it boils down to is how you are guessing the answers. And because most of the time you don't know the exact answer. Say for 100 questions, you know 35 to 40 questions that this is the correct answer, but for the rest, you have to guess. You have to eliminate one or two options and then you have to guess. So I would suggest that writing more tests and practicing how to make your guessing more accurate is the key to getting better marks in the GS1 paper. The GS mains consists of 4 papers. As we see that in this exam, the GS papers have contributed much more than previous years to the final result. So it is very important that we score well in the GS papers. So for the 4 papers, the questions are fairly broad, and but I do see people who are studying very deep into these topics. For example, say paper 2, which has public administration. So people are studying core pub books, or very deeply into history for paper 1. So I don't think that is necessary. What I feel is we should cover the basics, which we used to do earlier also, but we should always keep in mind that we have to link various dimensions to each question. Whatever we can think relevantly, whatever we think is relevant to any question, we should write that and link it so that it answers the demand of the question. But I would also like to add that we need to make our answers more. We need to make our answers more analytical and also have suggestions, because at the end that is what the examiner is looking for. For each question, how the candidate is understanding the question, analyzing it, and giving his suggestions. So, for example, in paper 2, the suggestion part is the most important, I refer to the ARC recommendations, and so these are okay because this is also not very deep into the optionals, but this gives a broader picture and a better understanding of the subjects and the GS questions. So there are various ways of attempting the GS mains. Some prefer paragraph, some prefer points, some write it as a mixture of the two. I used to write it mainly as points. The first few lines would be an introduction and it would give a context to the question, why it is being asked. Then the analysis of the question will start. The context of the question, the pros, the cons, and the suggestions, and finally a small conclusion. And within each subheading, I would give the points in exactly point wise. One is this, two is this, something like that. But that being said, people have scored well by writing in paragraph format also. In mains, there are 2 language papers which are compulsory. You just need to qualify them. You don't need a very high score in that. But it is important that you qualify. So I have friends who had studied very well, and we were expecting very good ranks from them, but they could not qualify just because they could not clear this qualifying paper. So it is important that you at least study a little bit and get those minimum 25% to qualify these language papers. What I did was I got Dainik Jagran, or you can take any Hindi newspaper, and I used to read just the op-ed or the editorial daily. So that was interesting also because it made me relate the thing to the current affairs, and it also improved my language, my Hindi writing and the reading skill. For mains, test series is very important. The reasons are that one, it helps in time management. It helps you write all the questions in the stipulated 3 hours, which you cannot do if you go directly to the mains examination hall. The second is it also gives a better picture of the competition around you, and you know that you have to now study even more, or you have to write in a better way. And third is that you can see the answer scripts of people who got more marks, and you can understand why they are getting more marks. So it gives a better insight into how to get more marks. So that is why test series is very important, and it also helps in managing your preparation as well, because you have a test every 10 days or so. So you are able to study for the test series, and in that process also complete your course. My preparation for the civil services examination, I thought that I had to study a lot for GS, as my background in GS was not that strong. This left me with only a few optional subjects. I did not think I can take maths because that takes a lot of time and effort. So my basic criteria for selecting an optional subject was the subject length, the interest, because if it's not interesting, however small the subject is, you cannot do it. And the material, if it's available, any coaching or guidance that's available, and also the past performance of that optional subject. If it's doing very badly, then I don't think you should take it. So these were the 3-4 criteria that I had in mind, and that's why I took optional anthropology. For current affairs, I had 2 newspapers, the Hindu and the Indian Express. I also used to read Business Line editorial daily. That is a wonderful editorial. It's just like a mains answer with an introduction, the body and a suggestion. Apart from that, I also referred to various compilation of current affairs like Vision IS. But whatever we are studying for our current affairs, it is important that we have the UPSC syllabus at the back of our mind, and we are always analyzing what a particular information or an issue is in context to the questions that can be set, and how can we analyze it, what are the pros and cons. So whatever you are studying in the current affairs, just link it to probable questions that can be asked in the mains questions. There are a wide variety of online sources available. Some are very good, like Mrunal's notes are very good. Then there are Insights on India is another site which has daily current affairs articles and questions based on that. I used to check both of these, not every day but fairly regularly. So similarly, there are other current affairs or UPSC related online sources. They are good, but you should not go and check 3-4 different sources. Just check 1 or 2 and be confident that okay, you are doing this just for your value addition. You don't need to make that your primary or the only source of preparation. This examination is a very long and arduous process. There's a lot that goes into the preparation. Some very important factors are hard work, self-discipline, and total dedication to the studies. There's a lot of sacrifice also involved. And candidate goes through a lot of ups and downs during the entire process. So it's very important to have your motivation high and keep studying. There's a lot of luck involved. The role of luck can never be understated in this. But if you work hard and have the belief in yourself, I think things will work out for the better in the end.